Hello and welcome back to Falcon Blues TV. Me and Dave are joined with Everton legend Neville Southall. Neville, thanks for giving us your time today, mate.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's a few weeks back was maybe I'd really.
That's right, yeah, we had 3 on the weekend of the derby.
Yeah, it's weird, we're coming up to around about the same period, like, you know, the home derby this time.
Yeah.
So, the derby's coming up then, and I'm pretty convinced that Reedy was the jinx. Not sure we were talking.
That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're buying players for millions of pounds and going, oh, not quite sure. Can I trust you to do this? Can I trust you to do that? And once you get onto the pitch, it's your job to outthink your opposition. Now, if he's quicker than you, then you might have to drop a little bit. If he's slower than you, then you can go on top. And if he's better in the air than you, then whether you jump into him a couple of times, then you drop that bit. He's got to receive the ball, you put pressure on him.
Simple stuff.
Well, it's what everybody does every day. They have solutions to problems, and they don't make solutions to problems. They go, we're told to do this, we're going to do this. And I think you can see when Roberto left, they still want to pass the ball side by side.
Yeah, definitely.
Because nobody wanted to go forward, nobody wanted that ability to go, oh, we're having this.
This isn't working.
Yeah.
Let's change it and forget what the manager has to say for the time being and deal with the consequences after.
People say there's no characters, that's why there's no characters.
Yeah.
Because nobody trusts anybody anymore, because the managers don't go out to win games, they go out not to lose them.
Well,
Because it's a really frightening sport, but because everybody puts pressure on, and you've got a real. I think we're in a really good position at the moment, because I think we can clear this club out once and for all, and then build again. Yes, it's going to be hard. Yes, it's going to be horrible. Yes, it's not going to be an easy ride. But let's just find players that want to play for the club, and 2, have ability. And 3, you've got a good football brain.
yeah.
And that's and have an identity. See, if I think of Everton Football Club, I've got Colin Harvey. Right? Can play, can fight, great attitude, never die. Thinking of Everton on the pitch on Saturday, what would you think of him? Where's the identity?
Well, we've lost our identity, haven't we? With at least under David Moyes, we had that identity being hard to beat, hard to break down.
Everton will never were more than that.
Yeah.
As soon as David Moyes come in, I think he's a good manager doing certain things. As soon as you bring something like that and somebody like Sam Allardyce, you have a reputation for being a negative club.
Sure.
And I look at Solskjaer, he's gone back and gone, we're Man United.
True, yeah.
We're going to attack, we're going to, you defend because that's what you get paid for. You're the midfield because that's what you get paid for. You're the striker, so that's what you do. That's what your job is. So there you go. Here's all the round pegs and round holes. We're happy days.
Yeah.
We're still disjointed. We're making do amending. And that's why I think if we can go get rid of a lot and then start again, and let's give this fellow a chance to actually build something, because Millwall in the Cup, it was a bad result.
It was very disappointing.
But
I think everyone wants to go to Wembley once again.
At the same time, it's been like every other cup game, you know, where we've been knocked out, and it's always been, we've been knocked out, it's like, how did we lose that game?
Yeah.
No, we've been locked.
It's not like we've been knocked out by Man City or anything like that.
No, it's games like that. Wigan, for one, it always sticks out in my mind as a horrible game. Then, you know, Millwall, obviously. It's those games that you think, we should be putting these sides away. It's exactly what you're saying when you've got no character. Yeah.
Because you've got a game plan and you stick to the game plan, everybody sticks to the game plan, well, yeah, okay, change it. Where's there a Gaza? Where's there a Roy Keane? Where's there a leader anywhere in the Football League? Tell me a leader.
Yeah, that's a very good point, yeah.
So somebody's going to go, oh, I'm having this. No, alright, Vincent Company, maybe. Jordan Henderson, I'm not quite sure, but he does okay for them. He'll have a moan up, and he'll have a graft, and he'll upset people. Tell me somebody else.
The last one that I could think of, and he's retired now, was John Terry. Yeah, but
John Terry was considered a dinosaur at the end, because he wasn't the old ball playing.
What they all want to see now.
Yeah, they all want to see somebody with 10 million passes on the ball. Football's really, really simple. You get the ball, you put it in their net.
Yeah.
How you get there? You can either get there really slow or really quickly.
Yeah.
So, and because we're falling short of both, we can't go quickly, because we haven't got a little bit of pace, but not blistering pace. So we can't go really, really quickly. So we have to play away. If teams sit, by the time we played away, most of it shut off. So it depends what it is, and that's what I'm saying. Sometimes, I always think if you've got a good squad, if you're going to play a certain way, then your alternatives are sat on the bench. For instance, if we had two small strikers and you had Duncan sat on the bench, there's your alternative.
Yeah, of course,
Because
yeah.
at the end you can go and do that. Calvert-Lewin a bit, I think, as well, because he gives a bit more aerial stuff. So, now and again we've got that, but once we put him on, then we don't tend to do it.
True.
So it's what I think you're looking at combinations of different things, which is not quite clicking, and it's not quite clicking because you have a certain number of players that are very, very similar.
Yeah.
I look at Gomez sometimes thinking, I'd like to see him play behind the front too. Just a little bit further up.
Yeah.
Just to see if he can be, just to see if he can actually create something in that final bit, rather than try and create it from sat in your box. You've got other people who can do his job. Andy gives on too many free kicks away on the edge of our box.
Yeah, which...
But I think, again, once he gets up to the pace, because I don't think he's right on the pace of the Premier League yet, I think once he does, I think he'll be better again. I think Bernard looks really, really weak at the moment. But again, I think given this season bit, I think he'll be better again. He's got to find a way of competing with the physicality of it. Because he does struggle with that, but he's got a brain to get around it, and that's what you want to see. I think will cook in and out.
Yeah, mixed, isn't it, really, with Is there anyone this season that stood out for you in this current squad?
Guy to me.
Yeah.
Him, because he grafts every week.
That's true, yeah.
He grafts every week, and he knows his limitations. You never see him pinging balls all over the place.
No.
He runs around, tackles people, gives the ball to somebody else who's supposed to be able to play.
Yeah.
But you've got a lot of runners who could run beyond people.
Sure.
Right, which is great, but then
You need someone to give him that ball, don't you?
You've got to have a focal point.
Yeah.
If you want that focal point, or you have really powerful runners like Man United did down the side where they can run all day. We haven't got that, and we haven't got a focal point up there. So we're lacking two things. And then if you put, we had Nazi people on, I think they weren't quite good enough, even though they tried their hardest. So they weren't quite good enough, so they couldn't quite get out. And a lot of time the defence have taken a lot of stick because the ball's got up front, they're on their way out, and the ball hasn't stuck. So then as they're coming out, they're quite high up. There's a massive gap behind, and yet the ball's here then, because it hasn't stuck and it's come back. And all of a sudden, we're going, we've got to hold this line now because a little ball through and they're on to it. It makes it look worse. But again, I still think it's the focal point up front is breaking things down. If you had Lukaku back, not saying that he cost us loads of goals because he came off his legs all the time. But if you had somebody who could hold the ball up, then I think you'd be, a different ball game again. But I do think he's on the right lines because to play in the Premier League now, you need power and you need pace. And you do need brains. Man City, they're fantastic because you can go and buy the best. It looks to me as if they're trying to build a squad to go into the new stadium.
Yeah.
Right, to fill that 60,000 seater. Now at the moment we're probably a million miles away from that. So what we've got to first do is clear everything out, look at what you've got, look at where your strength is. And we've got some strength now and again.
Yeah, there's a couple of good players in there. Like Richarlison's done well, Sigurdsson's done well, Michael Keane's had a good season.
Yeah, Coleman will be better again next year. Pickford will be better again next year.
I think the whole thing at the moment is just a whole confidence thing. We're getting knocked left, right and centre with, conceding silly goals. I think.
But they concede silly goals for the same reasons.
Yeah.
It's always set pieces as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you give...
But it's the silly free kicks outside the box.
Why are they giving stupid fouls away? Because they get frustrated because the ball doesn't stick. The ball doesn't stick one end, so they get frustrated. And as a defender, we went away sometimes and we played and we didn't have a forward or two. Then you're going, if we don't keep us tight and we concede one, we ain't going to get one back. So the pressure then becomes a little bit more. So when and then it builds up a little bit. Well, we can't afford to concede a goal. And then all of a sudden you give a silly free kick away because they've got one down, everyone's going, no chance of getting back in this game now, and it does affect players. And before long, it's like, oh, it's a grind.
Yeah, you see a lot of heads dropping, but we've actually, every game this season that we've conceded first, we've never won. We've not come back and
I don't
won.
think we've done that for a long time.
Yeah,
That's
which
the thing,
is
you know,
disappointing, really.
It's
It's
not
disappointing
just
because when you go through a bad time, you need a catalyst to push you forward.
Yeah.
Because your nerves are shot to bits at times. So once the catalyst is a goal going in, you go, oh, well, shackles are off now.
Sure.
Because we need to go and get it back. So the pressure's off. We've conceded that one, there's nothing we can do about it, let's go and get that. And that's disappointing me, I think. But, you know, I'm more optimistic than I've been for years.
Yeah.
Because I still think once we move into that ground, within 5 years, we'll win the league.
It's very optimistic, yeah. I like that
There you
belief.
go.
I like that belief,
like it.
yeah.
My logic is, he's the fellow in charge, he's not stupid.
No.
So he's not going to stand for anything less than filling that ground.
Sure.
Now whether it be this manager and this squad, I don't know. I hope it's in, you know, and give him a chance to build in that stadium. But then once he gets in the stadium, do you think he's going to be happy with coming 7th?
No.
Because he's got to want Champions League football for the ground.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's a lot of
therefore,
money, yeah.
you go in, right, okay, I ain't going to have it.
Yeah.
He's no mug, what he's got in there, and he can see new stadium, loads more money coming through the ground. We need to be able to compete at the highest level because show's coming. That European Super League will still be on the horizon.
Sure.
You need to be up there to compete. We've got a new ground. We'll have to have a better team. So that's what I'm saying. We're in the best position we've ever been in
No.
because the fella's got cash, and everybody's got cash. Don't get cash by being a mug. He ain't no mug.
Yeah.
He's not going to sit on it, and he will do what Abramovich does at some stage. This manager is worth 10 million quid because that's what they're trying to get him for. He's the first one that I've known they put a value on 10 million quid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, that's a good sign because he's prepared to pay 10 million for the manager he wants. Now, if he went out and got Mourinho, then he'd take it a step up again.
Yeah, you're
But
looking to hold
Mourinho
that,
wouldn't have done much more with ours. He'd have probably fell out with the player because not
That's what he does.
It seems to
Yeah.
be his game.
So
Doesn't it?
I think logically, if you look at it logically, I think there's a real good chance we'll win the league before I snuff it, to be fair. You know what I mean? Before I get to 70.
Yeah.
I hope, because I think once you get into the new ground, it opens up so much more.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, I think that's the ambition the club needs to have as well.
but I think because it hasn't been communicated, I think that's what his ambition is.
Yeah.
Because why else would he do it? Why else would he put his money into the club? Why should he put money in now? Let's be honest, why would you put money in now?
Exactly. There's nothing to...
Because it's not an operation now to throw
There's
money out.
not a feasible target, is there, at the moment?
Well,
It's got to
at
be
the
built
moment,
up.
he's got 4 walls and he's got a roof. Ain't the best. Right, so we've got to look at that and go, right, structurally, what do we need?
Yeah.
Well, okay, so we might need to take the roof off at some stage. But let's get rid of it first, because you can't take the roof. You've got to take the roof off before you can replace it. You've got to knock the walls down before you can do that. So I think what they're doing now is basically combine harvester. Go through, get the shit out. Right, get the shit out, and let's see what we're left with. Right, now let's build. And it's like, there. That is a sensible approach to me, to actually use your money wisely in the areas that you really need it. We could really, suppose, go and buy a 70, 80 million pound striker. Will they kill him off? I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, so at some stage, but at some stage you're going to have to buy better players.
Yeah, definitely.
Because they're going to have to look at the ground going, 60,000, that means we've got to get another roughly 20,000 people through the ground.
But they need a reason.
Yeah. And the reason is what steps on the pitch.
Yeah.
And then that's why I think it's great. Because at some stage, the 20,000 people that don't turn up are going to hassle the life out of him because he's going to lose it all. And he will go, no, I ain't having it. I am going to have it.
Don't need this.
Yeah, everybody that moves into a new ground need to fill it.
Yeah.
They don't fill it by putting shit on it.
It's true.
They put it in by having good things on it that people want to come and watch. Because let's be honest, you know, nobody's going to come and have a nice meal if the football's shit. Because eventually people like winners.
Yeah.
And they have to be winners, and he understands that they have to be winners. So I think it's great, to be fair, because I'm thinking, oh, okay, get rid of them. Clear the rooms, clear everything off. Yeah, people have got to look at, and I don't think they communicate very well, but I think people have got to look at the long-term picture all the time. Yes, we're going to have shit days. It's going to be really, really difficult at times. And everyone's going to want the manager to go. For what reason? We're not winning games. Well, what's it telling us? It's telling us that something's wrong.
Yeah.
So are we going to go and say, right, you go, bring somebody else in, and we'll just make it longer for longer? Instead of going, right, from now on, let's go clear, get rid of everything that we don't need, boom. Because he'll have players from them for other managers, or the other managers, whatever it is, that he doesn't want.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's got his list. We've already done well getting rid of a lot of the players that that we have done.
The struggle is a lot of them are on big wages as well.
And there's one other thing that you've got to remember, is that we spent an awful lot of money on the academy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, and how many players has that produced that have gone into that first team on their own, week in, week out? Why have we gone and had to buy somebody centre halves, or loan somebody centre halves? Why haven't we got a goalkeeper?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, why haven't we got a striker?
Yeah, which we are crying out for, aren't
We got Campbell Lewis, to be fair, he does okay. I think he's miles better than people think.
Yeah.
But that's what. So I'd be looking, going, okay, so we're looking at this, we're saying throw money at it, but I go, but why? What is wrong with our scouting system? And our recruitment, that we haven't got something that's going to be better than these, cheaper.
That's a good point.
So I look at, I'll get both ends, because the manager's got to go in there and go, we've got to look for today, which is tomorrow's game, and then we've got to look at building a squad, but we've also got to look at the future, which is the kids.
Sure.
And I think that's where we sometimes fall down, because if you look at certain clubs, they play a certain way. They want big, aggressive players, but they've got to have someone to pass to them.
Yeah.
So you've got to have a mixture of both, and that's what I'm saying. Once you've got your identity, and I do think they want to play with power and pace, and they want to go and press teams, because I think that's their way of doing it, and they want to play attractive football. I don't want to move the ball quicker, because everyone's bored to death by the ball going sideways.
Yeah.
So tippity-tappity passes, which I think people will be okay with if they keep the ball, and they get around the opposition.
Results. Yeah.
Well, they get around the opposition's box with it,
Yeah.
and then they deliver quality. And at the moment, it's not really that quality, and I'm looking and going, right, how many of this current squad will be all right in a league-winning team?
It's very, very few.
I think there's more than you think. I think you can get away with the goalie. I think you can get away with Coleman. I think you get away with Keane.
Good season. Yeah.
I think you get away with Zuma in the right daylight. You get away with your left back. So they're not bad, but if you had something better, it'd be all right. Going down again. Your midfield players you're going to struggle with. Right. Richarlison, yes. Calvert-Lewin could do a job. Gomez, yes, I think, but you need legs around him.
Yeah.
So you're looking at,
eight.
for me, you've got 8 or 9 that can be really, really good squad players out and possibly be in a league-winning squad. So that means you're short by another, at least 8. And top heavy up front, because you need 2 goal scorers, as Man City keep proving.
Yeah.
So when you've got 8, you've got, okay, so what don't we need? Well, we don't need some of the others. So let's just pull them out. Which is the best midfield player we got? Gomez, after them Gomez. Guy, yeah, he's getting on now, so you've got to look to see who else is in there. He wants to go to PSG, let him go to PSG. 30 million, okay, let's have a look at that. And that's how you should be building, rather than, yeah, this is shit, let's just get rid of everybody, because it don't work.
Yeah.
It just, and it's, you know what, every time you see on Twitter, what about this? Oh, fucking hell, fucking hell. Manager's got to go, he's a twat, he's comping the team, the players are shit. It's the same, basically. The fault, as the players he's brought in, better than the ones we had.
It's yeah and no. I think there's you look at like Digne, yes, probably being better than bringing it from. Obviously Baines is going to be there all the time. So Digne,
goodbye.
Gomez, yes, better than James McCarthy. We got Gareth Barry at the wrong end of 30.
Yeah.
I think
Did a job for Everton.
Did a great job. But I think there's just players like that.
Yeah, but the ones he brought in better than the ones we had.
I think his recruitment's been alright, to be fair. you know.
So what's the problem?
Yeah.
If he's bringing people that were shit.
Oh yeah, I agree. I think that it needs to be a bit more
we
patience these days.
and once he brought in, yeah, okay, they're slightly better than what we had.
Yeah.
And with time, and with some others, they might get her again.
Yeah.
You know, let's be honest. Alan Harper, Ken Richardson, right, weren't Maradona and Pele.
Yeah.
But the jobs they did were just, you couldn't put a price on them. You couldn't put a price on them because of what they did.
Yeah.
You know, would you say, you know, John Bailey was the best left back in the league. You know, but because of what we had around,
Very entertaining guy, John Bailey.
it's brilliant.
Yeah.
But he's got strengths. So
Yeah.
when you've got somebody's strength, then they also have a weakness. And if you counteract that weakness by somebody alongside him, or somebody in front of him, or somebody behind him, then you're starting to build up a nice team. So it doesn't have to be the best players in the world, but it has to be, at this moment in time, why do PSG want him? Because you can't find anybody to run around and tackle because it's a dying art. Nobody wants to run around, they all want to run sideways, 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 close the ball, sideways, sideways, sideways. He just goes and runs on. That's why he's valuable. Now, you're going to tell me that I can't work out why a footballer can't run about for 90 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, so I think the whole philosophy of the club is changing. And I think sometimes if you sat down with the chairman and the manager and Brands and you said, right, okay, what is the vision? You know, like you mean there's no vision. Well, there's a clear vision. There's a clear vision. There's a ground. There's 20 extra thousand seats you've got to sell. We're going to have a good team.
Sure. Yeah.
Because we've not got to move into a militia team. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's what they need to sell. You don't think I'm going to open a car showroom here and put fucking, I'm spending like, £500 million on a car showroom, but I put fucking Skodas in it. It ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
It ain't going to
Yeah,
happen.
no, that's fair enough.